All right, so at the end of this video, it's going to get juicy. Wait to the as we cover the update on the store. That is the biggest changes, or if you want to fast forward to that section, we do some comparison as well. But first, we're going to cover literally the changes to the meta, the nodes, the start date. But it's going to get extremely juicy once we start seeing the store update. And that's what you really probably are here for. So that's going to be towards the end of the video. And I'm also going to give you some kabam. If you make it to the end or fast forward to the end, some ideas on how to incentivize players to play more in Battlegrounds. You know, I feel like this is the game mode that should grow and it has the most potential over Alliance Quest, over Alliance War. So if we can baby this game mode and just treat it right and just be very gentle, water it, let it grow, talk to it every day, that's where it's at every day. All right. Let's roll on the video. Welcome in, guys, to season 24 of Battlegrounds. We're going to jump right in there because there is a lot to cover. So the start date of this preseason is Wednesday, of course, right? Today. But the regular season starts on Wednesday, the December 11th, which is what we normally get, which is a week, an entire week to be able to like play this. Can we expand this a little bit to make it wider? There we go. This is kind of like the infograph. You know, obviously it's going to look nicer when Kabam officially launches this live with different colors, but bear with me. This is what we're working with. We just got this information, and so I'm making a video so that way you can see it. But upcoming buffs, what are the buffs? This is the question everybody's been asking. And the preseason victory track buffs are going to be Mighty Charge, Dash Vulnerability, Counter Punch, and Dauntless. Sorry. But a lot of people are going to be interested in this, of course, because you're going to be spending quite a good time in the victory track, especially if you're not a player that makes it into the GC quite quickly. You're going to be in the victory track for some while. We'll figure out some of the champions for sure, like maybe do a little bit of a follow-up on what champions are going to be good for the victory track. Once we're in it live, we're going to have tons of time, like a week before, obviously, with the new preseason option. Newish, since that's going to be an ongoing thing now that we have. We'll definitely play some preseason for sure, because just to get a little bit of a good, hey, these champions are good for the victory track. But what a lot of more interest is, what champions should you be ranking up for the players that end up in the GC and want to play in the GC? Is it better than the season that we just finished? A lot of upset players when it comes to the current season or last season, because they didn't like the power gain. AI was launching special threes a lot. I didn't really play that season much because we were focused on grinding units. So something had to give, whether it's Battlegrounds. Really, Battlegrounds is the most time consuming thing for me. So that had to give. So we really didn't play much, but here we are for the new season. Hopefully we get to play a lot more, especially at night. Then we had situations. But anywho, let's get into the Gladiator circuit notes. I am root. All right. So this is going to be interesting, especially for those champions that are very hard to basically evade, or with unblockable specials. Those are going to be the very annoying ones, right? So the attacker is passively rooted during the defender's special attack. So as soon as the defender, the AI, launches a special, you're rooted. No matter where you're at in the plays, you're going to be rooted, right? Matador. So this is going to be the other note. Attacker gains 1 bar of power every time the defender activates a special attack. This is the only way the attacker can gain power in this fight. So you're going to hit the opponent. You're going to notice no power, right? And then what's going to happen is they're going to get to a special 1, and then you are going to get to a special 1 as well. Once they launch a special 1, though, you are rooted. So be careful with that, okay? But if you get them to another special, you should be able to get yourself to a special 2. Now, Power Shield, the attacker's basic attacks deal no damage, but still generate power. Their special attack deals 4. There's special attacks deal plus or a 400% more damage. So I would assume, even though we're going to be in the meta of like a ton of rank 3s, champions like Ghost might make a comeback here, especially with the special 2 and the increased 400%, especially since he's got phase mechanics. So if you get rooted, you can kind of like avoid some of the damage there with the face option. So she might do a little bit of a comeback. Just thinking out loud here. Let me know your thoughts on this one though. Arena of Fear. Both champions start the fight with an indefinite fear passive. Ooh, okay. And then Dauntless, right? The attacker starts with the spare gauge of 50%. So we kind of know that. I'd be interested in when, and if ever they decided to increase this to 75 or decrease it a little bit, because it's always been a thing at 50%. And it works. It works. It's not too overpowered. Now, that is basically the node for the entire circuit. Same concept the whole month. 4 weeks of this. So whether you're going to be playing a lot of Gladiator circuit and you feel like, hey, I can handle the roots, I can handle those unblockable specials, I have a pretty decent deck when it comes to that. I got solid defenders that can be annoying and just, you know, obviously if you're used to evading or dashing out or kind of like completely removing the specials by avoiding those impact, contact, block hits, you're going to be able to do that while rooted still, because it's doable, or you're just going to block the entire specials. But just be on the lookout for those unblockable specials, because those will get you, okay? So that is the Gladiator circuit, and that's what we're going to be playing for the entire month. But the biggest change is not that. Is this the store update, man? I'm so happy to cover that, and we'll get to that right now. But the rewards, players who reach the player's circuit, you will receive a new email completing Vibranium 1 and reaching Gladiator circuit. And oh, wait a second, Professor X said what? Professor X emoji nah. Okay, let's see what that looks like. I think there's been leaked information, photos on what those look like, so I'm interested in seeing that. We should be able to see that really soon, but be on the lookout for the new emote. So I wonder when Combatant's going to say, hey, you know what, let's expand the amount of emotes you can hold. Like I accepted emotes, and even the most recent emote that we just got, which is the GGs for me and everybody that uses it, because we know the toxicity of the emotes. Throw out the GGs and the little like a little Loki or something, or they throw out the GGs. For the most part, you know how it is. GGs, it's not good games. Let's get good, bruh. But that's kind of like we, I guess, adapted that emote as that being that. So we'll be on the lookout to see what this one looks like. Now let's do a store comparison. This is the one I am super more interested in. And the reason why is because we're going to do a little bit of back and forth. Okay. We're going to do some comparisons of, let me see if I can figure this out. Yeah, we go. Of like what we're seeing here, and then what we're going to be updating. So, and obviously we'll cover the most important things when it comes to your ideal purchases, right? When it comes to the store. All right. So first things first, let's we're going to cover some of the ones that I feel more important, right? So the T4 basic alloy fragments, guys, we're going to be seeing those when it comes to the relics. Those are being added. And let me show you really quickly. We just had or in a period of relics giving us an option to be able to take on to rank 3. No. Let me take you there. Customize relic, use item. Can I not? Okay, here we go. All right, so if you look at the T4 basic alloy fragments, you are going to be able to buy, let's see, right there, 1,800. And the cost is actually going to be really expensive. So this far column is the new cost, the cost itself. If there's no previous cost, we can't do a comparison, especially for something new that's being added. So 1,800 times 10, but at a 3,000 chip cost. Now, very quickly, let me show you. It takes 3 of these basic alloys to be able to get your champion, your relic, up to a rank 3. So what is T4 alloy? How much basically inventory do you need to be able to gather the T4? So how many fragments or how many pieces, right? So you need 36,000 of these, and you're getting 1,800. So if you do the math, it's going to take you a while. Where currently it's up to you. You still have some time to look into these deals. Right now, they're giving us a 2 to 3 gem, or there's an option for you to get this 2 to 3 gem if you value the relics and rank 3 relics quite a lot. That you can grind it out. At least they're doing that for the players, which dude, thank you for doing that. Even though it's going to take you forever, but they're giving you an option if you didn't want to go and get those Odins or those packs that are doing during this celebration period, right? So though that's one thing. The relic T1 Celestial Alloyed. So you are going to be able to get quantity of 1. Purchase limit is now 2. And that's been updated from the old cost of 1900 to 1800. Again, just covering the relic information. Hey, that is going to be something you might be interested in, but I know this is very few people that might be interested in that. So biggest thing is the T4. We didn't have them. We're getting them now, allowing every player to now have a rank 3. It's going to take a while, but allowing you to make a rank 3 option. So let's jump onto the juicy stuff, though. The other things, the most important things, T4 Alpha Fragments Catalyst. Okay, right now in game, there is no T4. The only thing that there is a T3, and it has a single catalyst with a purchase price of 2,300, which is what we see here. So it's going to be lower. So you're going to be saving 300 battle chips when it comes to your purchase price, and now it's going to be 2,000. Still keeping the same limit, I believe, of 10. Yes, it's still 10, but in decreased price. But what's being added is the 2,850 fragments. Now, keep in mind, it takes quite a good chunk of fragments to be able to form a fully formed T4, which is where we're looking at 57,000. So you're going to be like, dude, that's nothing. I need 57,000 to form a fragment. But just, hey, this is just the specific store that's being updated. There's already this is the Battleground store, right? Battle chip store. There's different for AQ, for raids. For the other store, I'm blanking right now, Glory Store, you're able to buy some there too as well. So keep those in mind as you're kind of like making your judgment on the store, because I think the addition of it's still really good. You can focus on that. You're getting 10 of them. The quantity is 10. So let's do some math, and then you're going to be able to buy these at 2,000. So whether you kind of focus on these to be able to like rank up more, basically every time it resets, we're looking at 28,550. Now that's going to cost a pretty penny when it comes to your resources, because that's at 2,000. That's 20,000 of them. You might not be able to buy these all the time, because depending on your placement and how good you do every season, you're going to be able to get these. But if you don't really place high, you might not be able to pick up these T4 Alpha fragments consistently from the Battleground store. But it might be the focus of items that you pick up. That's one of the biggest, at least, additions to me when it comes to the items. Now, the other things I've been picking up lately is the 7-star fragments. I did want to cover this because you notice 1,000 shards, right? The quantity. So right now, I did pick those up recently, so we can see them right now. I picked up a few to be able to open a crystal. And we picked up 6 of them. So we have 4 left, but at a quantity of 500. Now the cost did go up. Instead of 1,900, it went up to 3,500. Okay, and that's an increased cost by a lot. The limit amount is still 10, but it's doubled when it comes to basically the amount that you're getting. So should we be paying double? Yes, but listen here. Okay, before you're like 3,500. Okay, so it was 500 for 1,930. Double that, right? That's 3,860. You're still getting a savings of 360, because if you were to pick this up to get to that 1,000 amount of shards, right? Hopefully you're following me. It's a good thing. If you don't even want to think about it, let me just tell you, it's a good thing the way the 7-star shards are now being added. You get more for less, okay? And you can buy more now with more of your chips if you wanted to. Like if that's the area, your chips, I keep calling them chips, your tokens, if that's the area you want to focus your tokens, your battle tokens into, okay? It might not be, but now if like you're like, hey, I just rather grow my roster, I want to be able to do that. You're basically, your tokens become more valuable towards those 7-star shards. Okay, so it looks like it got more expensive, but it didn't. It actually got cheaper with more options for you to buy. Okay, hopefully you guys follow that on that one. Also, the one thing to point out too is that was the 7-star shards, right? The 6-star shards, man. So the 6-star shards are basically kept the same amount. The purchase price is 300, but you're able to get for the same cost. Now, I'm sorry, no, that's the change. Sorry, is the updated cost is 200. So almost basically a discounted of 50%. You know, let's just, I know it's not, I'm not going to round up, but let's say if it was 400, it's 390. Now you're paying 200 you're using 200 of your tokens towards the purchase of this. So, and let's do some math. So you're able to get this 30 times. So basically you're looking at through 30,000 and it takes 10. So looking at 3 crystals for the price of 200 and times 30 for the price of 6,000 of your tokens. Now, you know, ideally, if that might be a strategy you might want to consider. If you have a lot of champions, if you're looking to get a lot of champions, it's pretty good value to be able to go the 6-star shards. If you can manage to get some SIGs, max SIGs, you know, you're going to be able to get, what is it? If you know, you got some RNG. I don't know if you want to risk it, but there's got to be RNG on the max SIG crystal to get the 7-star shards. You have to have a very large roster, pretty much everybody maxed out. A little bit risky, but it's up to you. I think I'll probably stay away from this when it comes to it. But just to cover everything else very quickly now, just run them through really fast. You got the T5 basic fragments, quantity of 11,000. Purchase limit is 20. Old cost was 40. Updated was 35. T5 class catalyst, new updated cost is 1250. T6 basic catalyst, lowered updated cost to 2,000. T6 fragment, so a lot of people would pick that one up, right? That is a big one to pick up. So it was 25% and is still staying at 25%. The purchase limit is now 10, where it was, is that the crystal or the selector? No, so that's the crystal. So the crystal is still 10. The selector was 5. Okay, so that still stays the same, but the prices of these have dropped tremendously. So you're going to be able to pick up more of these, or kind of like when you do need to pick these up, your tokens are going to go and become more valuable from these. Okay, so you're going to be able to get more. So overall, guys, the story getting buffed, updated, it's a big buff. You know, being the story, these changes, and I'm gonna kind of leave it here for you guys. The changes to the stores have been buffed and updated. Updated because we're including the T4 basic alloys. We're including the T4 alpha fragments that have been added. So as you can see here, added and then updated on a lot of stuff, which means a nice buff. And then here's some information for the Paragon players. What they got some added T4 alpha fragments as well, and everything else has been updated. And Throne Breakers added some T6 fragments, very nice. Some 7-star hero crystal shards, not that many, but still added some. And then everything else got updated. Cavalier as well here below, uncollected, and that's about it. Good luck in this next season of Battleground Summoners. So guys, man, what a big change to Battlegrounds, at least the store, when it comes to the changes so far for the next season. And so the next season is at the, what do we say, this Wednesday, December 11th. So still in 2024, but this is going to continue, and we know how this works, right? This just be already in the mindset that this is probably going to be the ongoing thing, changes, at least to the store for the next year. If we do see another change to the store, in less than a year from now. This is a good tracker. This is something easy to remember. Hey, it was updated in December of 2024. We go 6 months, 8 months, things like these get kind of outdated very quickly. And so we might want to be asking for more, but for now is everything has been improved and the value of everything is great. So it's going to take you some time. You got to play a lot of Battlegrounds. You got to rank really high in Battlegrounds to be able to like enjoy the store for sure. That's a given. But also like kind of like if you want to focus on building your roster, focus on the 6-stars, 7-star shards. If you want to focus on prestige, focus on the relics information. If you want to focus on more rank ups, more rank 2s, more rank 3s, focus on the fragments of the store, so you have options to be able to direct your account and the growth of your account, which is nice. And then again, your tokens are being more valuable now in 2024, 25, right? Going on. So we'll see if Kabam has some updates. I doubt it, but we'll see. I'll be on the lookout to see if they have some updates to how many tokens we get now. That would be interesting. That would be a huge buff because now the price is lower. Plus, we're able to get more tokens. That would be lovely because that would help the players expedite their accounts, and it would also bring in more attention. Hey, where's the best value? Where do I dedicate my time? Is it Battlegrounds? Is it questing? Is it arena? Is it AQ? Is it Alliance War? It looks like it's Battlegrounds. If they already, the store is a huge update, but if they can go ahead and give us more tokens for whether playing consistently the daily or for placement, ideally it would be best for daily playing, like being able to reset, or when it resets to be able to get more of these tokens. Or hey, like because this would be if Kabam made it to the 20-minute mark of this video. I didn't realize it was 20 minutes. I just looked at the clock. If Kabam is listening, if you give an extra token, not just 1 or 2, but a good chunk, maybe 1,000 for consistently playing 3 days, or like something like, because a lot of players just play when it resets for the tokens. But if you play day 1, day 2, day 3, and there's like a little tracker of time or something like that, how much you play, as long as you meet the tracker every day for the next 24 hours, you get this extra bonus token, right? Tie it into the sigil, if you will. Hey, make your money, Kabams. So that might be a good idea when it comes to like, hey, some ways to encourage players to play more Battlegrounds on the daily. That would be really good. But let me know your thoughts on this one, guys. Take care. Sorry for a long one. I know there's a lot to cover behind the meta changes and then also the store changes. The store changes was the biggest thing. And I wanted to leave that to last because I really wanted to like just talk about it, but yeah, good luck out there for season 24. Looking forward to this season and seeing how you deal with the root. So may the root be with you guys. Take care. Peace.
May the force be with you.